everybody. Thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. Today, we're continuing with a series of questions and answers. A lot of you have been messaging me. You have a lot of questions and you want to know about things. So today, joining with me is Robert Clancy, the host of Mindset Reset Show. So he is the voice behind the camera.
Yes, and it's an honor to be here again. And so many fans have asked where to get your movies and why is it so hard to find them. There's a few out there that you can get your hands on, but many of them are unavailable.
Well, first of all, they've been shot. Some of them, especially like the Hong Kong movies, were shot long, long time ago. And throughout those years, Golden Harvest would sell their library. They'd sell them to Warner Brothers or here or there, and sometimes they get lost. I think now on Amazon Prime, they're coming up with more of my movies, so you can see more of that. Sometimes you can find them on eBay. eBay, I would say, or Amazon is the best thing, but I really have no control about the movies. I don't even have copies myself. So I guess, it's just search on the internet for them, and that's where, you can find them.
Well, you actually do have a copy of one on your website. You have Martial Arts Kid, do you not? And I think fans can get that signed and sent to them too.
Yes, absolutely. That's the one I do have, is the Martial Art Kid. And you can, if you haven't seen it or you would like a copy, you could go to my website, CynthiaRothrock.com, and I will personally sign it for you. That's actually a great movie, especially if you're a martial artist, because there's a lot of real lessons in there and training. And also, if you have children or a school, it has such a good message about, bullying, how it's not accepted, and bullies, shouldn't bully. So it has a great message as well. So if you like to pick that up, you can check that out on my website.
Yeah, and several fans have asked about your favorite fight scene that you've done, and what would that be?
Oh, well, I would say any of my fight scenes in Hong Kong are my favorite, but I think the one that I really like when I see it is Blonde Fury, when I'm fighting on the net. Because that was so difficult. It doesn't look as difficult as it was, but trying to go in and out and land on those little ropes and getting rope burns, it was really an awesome fight scene. I mean, it took a while for us. I think we were shooting that for days, but I had rope burns all over, even though it went through my pants. And it was just a phenomenal scene, everybody fighting on that rope. And I think I like it because of the fact it was so challenging and so hard to do your moves on that.
Yeah, is there a particular fight scene that you love from a movie that you weren't in?
I liked the Kingsman. I liked the fight scene in the church in the beginning, and I thought like some of those fight scenes were really, really well. I also liked Robert Downey Jr. when he was doing Sherlock Holmes, doing the Wing Chun. And I just liked how he thought about the moves slow and then he did it fast. So I like that. I'm not really a Wing Chun person. On the last movie, The Huntress, which we are still shooting right now, I do some Wing Chun in it, and it's really not an easy hitting the dummy all the time. I was quite bruised and stuff, but I do like that style. So still learning, and I would have liked to have done that scene. Anything that I don't know and I have to learn to do, I kind of gravitate to. I think it's part of the fun of doing movies, is learning new things.
Yeah, and several fans have been very amazed by your adventure travels. And what's one of your most memorable adventures that you've been on?
I have to say Antarctica was probably the most memorable, although New Zealand and Africa are pretty close to that. I think because, I don't really like cold, and it was so cold, and I did so many crazy things there. I did the polar bear plunge, right, where you just have a bathing suit on and you're going into water that's 31 degrees. And it was very hard for me to do, but I thought, if I'm going to do this polar bear plunge, this is the place to do it, in Antarctica where there's icebergs. And they had a doctor on set just in case someone passed out, or not on set, but, on the ice. And when I did it, I almost passed out. For about maybe 10 seconds, I couldn't catch my breath. It was so cold, and you have to submerge yourself. And I also did ice trekking to Jobbert Peak. Now, you never know what you're going to come across in Antarctica because it's ice and you might not be able to go this way or that. And so we had to change routes, and I was doing mountaineering. And to do the mountaineering, you had to have the really $700 mountaineering boots with you with the ice crampons and stuff. And they said you had to be a mountaineer to do this. Well, I'm not a mountaineer, but I really wanted to do it. So they were saying how hard it is. Only 3 people could do it. Um, that the instructor said, I said, I don't think I could really do this. And he said, are you in good shape? Yes. He goes, are you afraid of heights? I said, no. And we did this trek that was probably, other than going to Mount Everest base camp, trekking there, it was the hardest thing I've done, because you can't turn around. Everybody is going up to the peak. We were tethered to our instructor at points. At points, we were like at a 1,500 slope, like just ice picks going up. If you fell down, you would have been all the way down the mountain into the ocean. When you got to the top, you think, oh, that's it. But no, you're not. You have to go it's like valleys going up and down. And the snowshoes, we went into snow up to our waist. So think about that, trying to climb out of that. It was really awesome. The end of the day, I was so exhausted. I can't believe I did it, but it was such an awesome experience to be in a place that nobody has ever been. Nobody has traveled. Our instructors didn't even know what he was going to find there or how difficult it was. And it was quite difficult. So I'd have to say Antarctica that's like right on the top of my list of extreme adventure and unusual places I've been.
Yeah, is there any place that you haven't visited yet that you'd like to go?
Yeah, there's a lot of places actually. I have this thing. I want to travel everywhere in the world, as many places as I can before I die. And I would like to go to Greenland. And I don't know, I guess it has that same Antarctica kind of feeling. I've been to the Arctic, but I'd like to go up into the Arctic Circle, up toward Canada where the polar bears are. I want to do this polar bear adventure where you get helicoptered into a den, and then you're on these trucks that are enclosed. It's the only truck that's allowed on the ice, and the polar bears come up to you. So I want to do that. And I still want to trek Kilimanjaro. So that's in Africa. So I want to do that. And I want to do the Dolomites, which I was going to do this year, but I think it got canceled due to the COVID-19. So it's trekking across Italy to France. And then also what I will be doing next year is the El Camino de Santiago. It's about 30 to 40 days trek. So that's, I guess, the kind of things I want to do for next year.
Wow, you got a full plate there. So a couple of well, I mean, it leads us into your workout routine. I'm pretty sure it's just the adventures are your workout routine, but many fans have asked, what is your workout routine like these days? Is it from your old training days, but now you still stay in shape. So what's your daily routine?
Well, I've always worked out hard my whole life because exercise and physical activity is just what I do. Now, because of the COVID-19, we're quarantined and I'm home and I'm forced to work out at home. So I do the Peloton, which is a spin bike. I do the classes daily. I have a medicine ball that I've worked with, and I have it actually, and this wasn't planned. Here it is. It's 10 pounds. I work out with that. I also walk my dogs a lot. I like hiking. That's like a typical part. And here's my dog. She heard the word walk. She heard the word walk, so she came over because she's due for a walk. I do that. I also work on with weights, doing some weights and the TRX. I'm also doing that. So, and plus I like to do yoga when I'm not in quarantine. I like to do hot yoga because I like to sweat because I think that's a good way to detoxify yourself. Yeah, so I just try to think of different ways I can work out so I'm not bored doing the same thing over and over again.
And many fans have just wondered, what is your secret to, I won't even say anti-aging. They just say you're just timeless. You're not even aging at all. There's no anti-aging because you haven't aged. So what's going on there?
You know what? I honestly, the word older is not in my vocabulary. Old, I still in my mind think I'm like 30. I could do things that I couldn't do back then. So I think it's just if you keep yourself in physical shape, good physical shape, and you also eat right. Not that I'm the greatest. I do like pizza and a glass of wine and my coffees, but I think the most important thing is your attitude. I know a lot of people that are much younger than me and can't do what I do, and because they'll go, "Oh yeah, I'm too old to do that," and I'll never say that. And I keep challenging myself. I had a T-shirt on when I went did all this extreme adventure in New Zealand, and I forget. I think it said like fearless or something like that. But that's how I feel. Like, face your fears. Don't be afraid to do things. And keep a positive attitude. If you're happy, you're going to look at. You're going to feel good. When you feel good, you look better. So that's kind of like what I live by, and I guess you would say keeps me young.
Well, thank you again for this amazing time, and I'm sure the fans are all enjoying this. I know I enjoy this time with you and getting these insights. And as always, just really appreciate all the insight that you're providing.
Okay, and I want to say thank you guys. Thanks so much for the support for the YouTube channel. Now that I'm sitting home quarantined, I get to do a lot of videos. Hopefully, next year I'll be working and traveling a lot, and I'll be sharing my adventures with you again. But thank you so much for tuning in. Love you guys. And again, like, if you have questions, just send them on, and I'm happy to answer them for you. Hi, this is Cynthia Rothrock. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. And if you like the videos, please put a like on it and refer it to your friends.